mental illness, it's from people getting lost in the woods and so on. In the United States, nobody starves to death for lack of food, and that's very similar in other modern, Western, more capitalist countries.
First of all, my comment was directed at the fundamental nature of capitalism, which requires there to be a class of people, aka laborers, who are forced to sell their labor power on the market in exchange for basic human necessities. Oxfam International, which is the major internationally recognized institution that studies extreme poverty and hunger every year, reported on May 3rd of this year that 65 million more people have been pushed to extreme hunger since last year. Furthermore, roughly 10 million people die of starvation each year, and 5 million of those people are children. It is estimated that one person dies of hunger every 4 seconds. They die because they are poor, and in capitalism, it is not profitable to save poor people. And can anyone guess which country controls the global food supply chains? One would expect that the major Western capitalist countries like the United States, which have dominated the world financial system and benefited greatly from plundering and exploiting and colonizing much of the third world that it created, would be doing far better than the rest of the world. So yes, American citizens don't starve as much as the countries that we've plundered. And yet still somewhere on the order of 35 million Americans live in food insecure households. And somewhere around 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
The idea that you're forced to work through threat of starvation is flatly and demonstrably wrong. If your labor is what's valuable, then you're free to sell your labor on your own without needing an employer.
This person's either being naive or disingenuous about the material conditions of the class-based society we live in. 8 men own the same wealth as half the world. You cannot live in a world of finite resources and excessively reward 8 people without violently depriving billions of people in the process. So to bandy about this idea that we are all free and voluntarily entering into the market on equal footing, and there is no advantage of capital over labor in this society, is just smug, naive, and arrogant. If you are unlucky enough to be born poor with no passive income or capital or generational wealth, then yes, you are free to sell your labor power on the market in exchange for basic human needs. And if you can't do that, then you are free to starve, which is exactly what I said.